In 1986, young Adelaide Thomas spends her birthday with her parents at the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, where her dad, Russell Thomas, wins her a shirt with a Michael Jackson Thriller print at one of the games in the amusement park. When her mom, Rain Thomas, goes to the restroom, Adelaide wanders away as Russell plays whack-a-mole. On her way out of the amusement park, she sees a long-haired blonde man by the exit, holding a cardboard with Jeremiah 11:11 written on it. Despite the lightning and thunder, she walks towards the empty beach, then enters a funhouse called Shaman's Vision Quest, where she encounters her doppelganger, Red, in the Hall of Mirrors. Years later, Adelaide, her husband Gabe Wilson, their daughter Zora, and their son Jason head to the Thomases' family home by the bay for a vacation. Sitting around the dining table, Gabe encourages Zora to train on the beach and pursue track and field. Because of this, Jason asks if they're going to the beach, to which Gabe says that they're going to Santa Cruz Beach. When Zora notices that Jason, who keeps wearing a mask, is attempting to light a lighter, Jason tells her that he's trying to do a magic trick. Young Adelaide was separated from her parents for 15 minutes. After that, she stopped speaking and withdrew from her family. When Russell and Rain consulted a psychiatrist, she told them that Adelaide might be having post-traumatic stress disorder. Adelaide refuses to go to the beach, giving Gabe multiple reasons. However, when he says Jason is looking forward to it, Adelaide agrees, but on the condition that they leave before dark. Jason, wearing a mask, startles Zora and retreats into a closet, putting an ambulance toy car in between the door and the jamb to prevent the door from locking him in. While Adelaide reminisces about her childhood, looking at her ballet photo and bunny doll in her ballet room, Zora kicks the toy car, locking Jason in. Jason screams and Adelaide opens the door, telling him he can't play there because he keeps getting trapped inside. Shortly after, Adelaide, Zora, and Jason see Gabe happily driving a boat named Crawdaddy. When the boat stops, all of a sudden, he tries to fix it, saying at least he got it really cheap. As the Wilsons drive to Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, they witness paramedics taking away the bloody body of an old long-haired blonde man, holding a cardboard with Jeremiah 11:11 written on it, just like the man Adelaide saw when she was a kid. When they arrive at the beach, Adelaide sees the funhouse, now named Merlin's Forest. They meet their friends, Josh and Kitty Tyler, and their twin daughters, Becca and Lindsay. While Adelaide and Kitty talk at the beach, a frisbee flies at them and Adelaide gets weirded out by how it landed perfectly on one of the dots of their beach towel. Meanwhile, after using the restroom, Jason sees a blonde man similar to the man the paramedics took away, standing still with his arms stretched out and his hands bloody. Because it took a while for Jason to return, Adelaide freaks out and runs to hug him when she sees him. That night, as Adelaide puts Jason to bed, she explains to him that she freaked out because she didn't know if he got lost or taken, and tells him to stick with her because she'll keep him safe. Jason points at the digital clock on top of his drawer, and Adelaide sees that it's 11:11 p.m. When she goes to put his mask and stuff in the drawer, she finds his drawing of his encounter with the man at the beach beside the clock. When she asks who it is, Jason says he doesn't know. Anxious, Adelaide tells Gabe that she wants to leave. She tells him about the Hall of Mirrors encounter and says that she ran as fast as she could, but her doppelganger continued to come for her whole life. She shares that there have been a lot more coincidences when they got there, and that she thinks that it means that her doppelganger is getting closer. But Gabe doesn't take her seriously. The lights go out and Jason informs Gabe and Adelaide that there's a family of 4 in their driveway. After they see them, a frightened Adelaide calls 911, but Gabe tells her that there's no reason to freak out. Gabe goes out to nicely tell the family to leave, but the family doesn't respond and stays silently still, joining hands like a human chain. When he returns to the house and tells his family to call the cops, Adelaide tells him that she did, but they're 14 minutes away. Armed with a bat, Gabe goes out again to make them leave, but the family, who turns out to be the Wilsons' doppelgangers, breaks into the house. Red, the only doppelganger who can speak and has a raspy voice, tells them about a girl who has a shadow. Although the two are connected and tethered together, the shadow received ugly versions of everything the girl received. While the girl's food was warm and tasty, the shadow ate raw and bloody rabbits. When the girl met and fell in love with the boy, the shadow met Abraham, and it didn't matter if she loved him or not, because Abraham was tethered to the boy. When the girl had a beautiful daughter, the shadow gave birth to a little monster, Umbre. When the girl underwent a C-section when giving birth to her son, the shadow had to cut herself open and take her son Pluto out all by herself. The shadow hated the girl so much for so long. When Gabe adjusts his glasses as he tries to negotiate with the doppelgangers, He notices Abraham touching his face as if mirroring him. Adelaide complies when she is ordered to tether herself to the coffee table, but asks them not to hurt the kids. After Red gives Abraham a signal, Abraham takes Gabe's glasses and drags him away. Red then gives Umbre a signal and tells Zora to run, which she does. A few minutes later, Umbre starts chasing her. Adelaide tells Red that Jason is not going, but Red warns her that Pluto has a temper. Adelaide assures a frightened Jason that he's going to be okay and tells him to show Pluto one of his tricks. Jason brings Pluto to the closet and keeps the door from locking them in. There, Pluto, who's wearing a mask, reveals his scarred face while mirroring the frightened Jason. Umbre catches up to Zora and stands on top of a car, holding a pair of sharp scissors, ready to attack her. The car's owner sees Umbre and angrily orders her to get off of it. Umbre faces and injures the owner, giving Zora time to run away. When Adelaide asks Red what they want, Red tells her that they've been waiting for the day of the untethering. Red pushes her head on the coffee table, cracking the glass on it. Abraham covers Gabe with a garbage bag and takes him to the crawdaddy. When the boat stops working and Abraham tries to fix it, Gabe takes the baseball bat Abraham took and throws Abraham off the boat. The boat's motor works again, causing the boat to move and Gabe to fall off the boat too. Abraham, whose legs got caught in the lifebuoy ring's rope, gets dragged across the bay. In the closet, when Pluto gets startled by Jason's lighter's spark, Jason quickly gets out of the closet and locks Pluto in. Hearing Pluto cry, Red leaves Adelaide to get Pluto out of the closet. While she proceeds to go to Adelaide's ballet room and beheads her bunny doll, an unsupervised Adelaide successfully frees herself. Crawdaddy returns and Gabe attempts to embark on it. When Abraham attacks him, Gabe slams himself on the motor, causing it to run and suck Abraham, killing him. Gabe, Adelaide, Zora, and Jason reunite and escape using Crawdaddy. At the Tylers' doppelgangers break into their home and eliminate their entire family. When the Wilsons arrive and Adelaide frantically knocks on the door, they capture Adelaide. While Josh's doppelganger Tex goes after Gabe, Zora and Jason enter the Tylers' home and discover the Tylers' corpses. Armed with items from the house, they defeat the twins' doppelgangers and Kitty's doppelganger, Dahlia, and they rescue Adelaide. Shortly after, Gabe, who has successfully defeated Tex on a boat, returns. Adelaide calls 911, but she's put on hold. When Jason asks how many doppelgangers there are, the Wilsons turn on the news and learn that numerous doppelgangers have been stabbing their counterparts across the city. A live broadcast shows numerous doppelgangers joining hands, similar to Hands Across America's human chain, blocking the road. Adelaide proposes escaping to Mexico as she thinks that the doppelgangers think like them and will eventually find them. When she goes to get the Tylers' car keys, Dahlia attacks her, and Jason witnesses Adelaide stab Dahlia. As they are leaving using the Tylers' car, Umbre blocks the road, but Zora, who insists on driving, manages to throw her off to the trees, killing her. At the boardwalk, the Wilsons find the street littered with corpses, and they see their car burning and blocking the road. When they back up, Pluto emerges and repeatedly snaps his fingers. Adelaide exits the car to approach Pluto, who looks at Jason and eerily smiles. Jason realizes that it is a trap and orders everyone to exit the car. As Pluto is about to light a matchstick and ignite the Tylers' car through its leaking gas, Jason, who is aware that Pluto mirrors him, stretches out his arms and walks backward, forcing Pluto to walk back to the burning car, where he gets burned too. After Red kidnaps Jason, Adelaide chases Red and sees doppelgangers joining hands at the beach. She enters Merlin's Forest Funhouse and discovers a secret door that leads to an underground facility where there are a lot of white rabbits. Adelaide finds Red in a classroom, drawing a human chain on the chalkboard. When she asks where Jason is, Red tells her that humans built the facility and created clones, which are the doppelgangers called the Tethered, to control their counterparts like puppets. When the experiment failed, the creators abandoned them, but they continued living underground, mimicking their counterparts until they went mad. Red tells Adelaide that after they met, she never stopped thinking about her and what could have happened if Adelaide had taken her with her. Years later on Adelaide's ballet show, the Tethered saw that Red was different, and they believed that she would free them from their misery. Red began to prepare and spent years planning the untethering, where they escape and kill their counterparts. But Red aimed to not only kill Adelaide, but also make a statement the whole world would see. Adelaide and Red fight, and Adelaide eliminates Red by stabbing her with a fireplace poker, and then strangling her until her neck breaks. Adelaide rescues the frightened Jason and assures him that everything's going to be okay. Adelaide and Jason, who brings one rabbit with him, reunite with Gabe and Zora. As the Wilsons drive away in an ambulance, Adelaide recalls that she is the tethered doppelganger, and Red is the original Adelaide. On the night they first met in the funhouse, she choked Adelaide and dragged her underground. After trapping her in the facility, she reunited with the Thomases as Adelaide. She looks at Jason, who is staring intently at her, and smiles at him. Meanwhile, the other doppelgangers form a long human chain that stretches out to other places. Multiple helicopters fly above them, and multiple thick smoke can be seen from other places.
Subscribe to watch more videos like this. Turn on notifications. And leave a like, it really helps the channel out. Thank you for watching.